When watching a series with characters you love, it can be very difficult to let them go, even for a time. Many authors are scared to allow their main character to be put to the side because they're afraid that they'll become lost in the background. And I've seen many comments online or things that people have told me IRL from those who are worried that Yuji may become irrelevant if Gojo keeps stealing the spotlight, or any character for that matter. This brings up a single question. Is Yuji Itadori even the main character anymore? For me, the answer is no. How many times have you seen a series that forces the main character into conflict or situations that they have absolutely nothing to do with, but they still have to thrust the MC in there anyways, literally just because they are the main character? I mean, let's be honest, we've probably seen this dozens of times, but personally, none upset me more than that of Bleach. And I know these days hating on Bleach is seen as edgy, downright wrong, or possibly even misinformed, but considering how Jujutsu Kaisen is inspired by Bleach, I couldn't ask for a better example to make my point. You see, what I love most about a series like JJK is that it doesn't force people into situations that they have no business being in. And for the most part, it keeps things logical. The same can't be said for that of Bleach, as it constantly bends the plot in order to involve Ichigo in nonsensical, full circle moments.
The circle is now complete.
Or ass pulls to get him past a major villain.
I can't believe this crap.
However, there are two examples that really irk me with Bleach, and these are the reasons why I love the way JJK is written. These two reveals are the Luova reveal and the Ichigo's mother's backstory. But you know what? Scratch that, because I don't like the reveal for both of his parents. And no, I do not think they are justified. I do not understand why people defend this stuff, but it's okay, we will get into it. And after we get into it, I'll discuss why I think JJK is better personally for doing things differently by talking about Jujutsu Kaisen 0 and also discussing the Gojo vs Sukuna fight. And I'll finally wrap my thoughts up with how I think Yuji is going to end the story. Starting with the Luova reveal, I hate this. And no, I do not mean I dislike it, I do not mean I don't enjoy it, I mean hate. I hate this reveal, okay? And I do it for multiple reasons. First, there is no foreshadowing / indication that Zangetsu could possibly be this evil version of the sword.
That doesn't make sense.
And no, the backwards writing does not justify anything. Secondly, as a viewer, it is very apparent that this is only being done in order to force Ichigo into a storyline that he does not need to be in. This is between the head captain and Luova. And while yes, I did love their entire backstory as well as the fight between them, I think the story would have been better served by building up their battle more and elongating the conflict between these two individuals, the people that actually have a stake in the fight. But of course, Ichigo's gotta be in it.
This is outrageous. It's unfair.
Imagine a world in which the head captain had to fight Luova after not just killing some guy we never heard of, but actual members of the Gojo 13 that we've come to love. The guy he kills, we don't know them. We get their backstory after they die.
What?
But hey, Bleach is full circle.
The circle is now complete.
Some of these characters could have been Byakuya, Toshiro, or Shunsui, but no. Instead, Ichigo has to get shoved into the arc he doesn't really belong in just because he's the main character. And now, Bleach's story has to get retconned. And sure, Bleach fans are gonna say, well, you're just mad you didn't get what you wanted. And while that is fair, and it is an opinion, and too many people have one, I don't think you can argue that it doesn't hurt the story in any way, because it takes away the meaning of certain scenes. And in talking about how some scenes are ruined, I have massive problems with how this backstory takes so much of the power away from this moment.
Why are you crying then?
Ichigo, do you recall what I said when we first fought? What I wanted to protect was always you, Ichigo.
I don't like it when a series tries to make me believe something that was poorly thought out. Shout out to the sequel trilogy, by the way. God, I hate you.
You should have died at birth.
But again, these moments only serve to give Ichigo the motivation to fight Yuaba. But what's really annoying is that there are more clever ways to get him involved in the plot, as his conflict with Uryu, or one of his friends being threatened. But again, I don't think it was necessary to force the main character into the plot again. It lessens the power of certain scenes by taking the viewer out of the experience during past events. Think about this, for example. As a viewer, when I used to watch this scene, I could only think about how Zangetsu was willing to give up the bond between the two of them in order to defeat Aizen. But I guess the author wrote this scene with these two lines in mind. I am both Yuaba and not Yuaba. I am neither an ally or an enemy. Not only to cover his tracks, but instead create a full circle manipulation game.
The circle is now...
Patrick, can you shut the fuck up?
If you think about it for 2 seconds, it just doesn't make sense. Yuaba has no reason to give up his bond for Ichigo. And the same can be said for Ichigo's parents. But I'm not here to go on a rant about Bleach. That's a whole separate video, and honestly, I'm not the best person doing it. Super Eye Patch Wolf did a video on that, and yes, I still agree with everything he said, no matter the nostalgia of seeing Bleach again. Plus, you guys are here to hear my thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen and where I think the story is headed. By now, if you have been paying attention, it's probably pretty clear to you why I love this series so much. It's not just because it's hype, and trust me, it is, but I love how the series treats the world and the characters with respect. For instance, most people know that Yuji wasn't even the main character originally, but he was put into the story because realistically, not only was Yuta overpowered, but he also accomplished everything he had to do in the original story. And while I love Best Boy Yuta, I love you. I can't say that Yuji wasn't part of the reason that the series hooked me. From the moment that he started crying about how weak he is, I fell in love with the series because it reminded me of similar struggles that my favorite main character went through. Moreover, what's so great is that Yuji isn't forced to carry the series. He's allowed to grow in minimalistic ways. Ways that characters like Yuta and Gojo are just not afforded. Think about it this way. If Yuji was forced into the central conflict of every plot, then instead of fighting Mahito, the person he needs to fight, he would most likely be fighting Kinjaku in Shibuya. And now he would be fighting Sukuna, a character that he has no business competing with. But in both of these scenarios, the only way that Yuji can even survive is if somebody bails him out, or if he gets some ridiculous power-up. And yes, while some people do want him to fight Sukuna now, I don't think they realize what it means narratively. And hopefully, I don't have to explain why power creep is a massive problem. You see, instead of writing Yuji as this overpowered mess or putting him in the plot for no reason, JJK sets a standard that Gojo and Sukuna are the strongest in the verse, and then holds up to that standard to make it actually mean something, while other series tend to falter and forget about the rules entirely. You see, because Yuji was allowed to take a back seat, not only is his character still growing with his willingness to do whatever it takes, but also the other characters have as well. I honestly believe that Jujutsu Kaisen is doing something very admirable, because it allows the story to build an actual full circle narrative with an abundance of characters that we actually care about. How many other series can you say that for? By the time that Naruto got to the War arc, I only cared about Team 7. By MHA's final arc, I don't even really care about anyone. Same goes for Bleach. Yet in a series like Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, and even Soul Eater, I cared so much about these other characters in the final arc. Except for Ichigo. Fuck him! And in JJK, I know there are so many people that care about Maki, Panda, Kashimo, Choso, Yuta, and Nobara. Please Stay Dead. So many other characters that I have yet to mention. I personally believe that this will work out in JJK's favor, Because whether the main crew fights Sukuna, Kenjaku, or whatever this is, I know that not only Yuji, but the entire main cast will get their shine. Thank you for watching. But if he fucks it up...
No! It can't be! No! No!
Peace!